What if time didn't just move forward? Imagine this, a glass slips from your hand, hits the ground, but instead of shattering, the pieces stop, lift, and reassemble themselves perfectly. Water spills across the floor, then flows backward into the glass. Smoke drifts into the air, then pulls itself back into the flame, relighting the candle. It looks impossible, almost like magic. But here's the unsettling truth. According to physics, this doesn't actually break any fundamental laws. So the real question isn't, is this impossible? It's why don't we ever see it happen? We experience time as something that always moves forward, not past, present, future. But in physics, time is just another dimension, like space. And surprisingly, most fundamental laws of physics don't actually care which direction time moves. Meaning, if you played the universe like a video in reverse, many processes would still look completely valid. So why don't we ever see time going backwards? The answer lies in something called entropy. Entropy is a measure of disorder. And in our universe, disorder always increases. Ice melts, objects break. Things fall apart. This is known as the arrow of time. It gives time a direction, forward. Because reversing time would mean everything becomes more ordered. And that almost never happens naturally. But here's where things get interesting. Almost never doesn't mean impossible. At a microscopic level, particles move randomly and in extremely rare cases. They can briefly move in ways that look like time is reversing. For a tiny moment, disorder can decrease, but only for fractions of a second, and only in very small systems. So technically, time reversal can happen, just not in the way you imagine. On a cosmic scale, the effects would be unimaginable. Exploding stars would collapse back inward. Light would travel in reverse. Galaxies would rewind their motion. The universe itself could begin to shrink. For time to reverse in the real world, every single particle in your body and the universe around you would need to move in perfect reverse order. Every atom, every motion, every interaction.
Exactly.
Backward. The chances of that happening? So small, it's practically zero. Not just unlikely, impossible on a human scale, but imagine it did. Time begins to reverse. You wouldn't feel it, because your brain, your thoughts, your memories would also move backwards. You wouldn't notice anything strange. From your perspective, everything would still feel normal, because your consciousness would be rewinding too. If time reversed on a cosmic level, stars would unexplode. Light would travel backwards, the universe would slowly compress. Eventually, everything could collapse back into a single point. Almost like rewinding the universe back to the beginning, a reverse version of the Big Bang. Surprisingly, some theories in physics allow time symmetry, meaning the equations work both forward and backward. But there's a problem. The initial conditions of our universe favor forward time. And once entropy starts increasing, there's no natural way to reverse it. So while physics doesn't forbid it, reality doesn't support it. For us, time isn't just physics, it's experience. Memories only go one way. Aging only goes one way. We remember the past, not the future. And that's because our brains are tied to entropy too. If time reversed, even memory would reverse, meaning you would never realize it happened. What if time suddenly started moving backwards? A shattered glass reassembling itself. Smoke returning into a candle. Rain rising back into the clouds. Sounds impossible, right? But here's the real question. Is it actually impossible? Or just extremely unlikely? Because deep down, the laws of physics don't clearly say time must move forward. So what if one day, without warning, time simply reversed? So could time ever reverse naturally in theory? Maybe. But in reality, the universe doesn't work that way. Everything around us, from breaking objects to aging, to the expansion of the universe, moves in one direction, forward. And it all comes down to one rule. Entropy always increases. That's what gives time its direction. That's why the past stays behind us, and the future is always ahead. But here's the real mystery. What if time isn't actually moving at all? What if it's just something we experience? A way our minds understand change? And if that's true, then maybe the biggest question isn't whether time can go backwards, but what really is time? Thank you for watching. If this made you think differently about reality, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share for more mind-blowing questions like this.